Hey guys, Ryan here, and today I'm going to bring you a video in the Absolution. The map is Steps and is an encounter battle. Now, every time I get this map I say the same thing, and this game mode, which is, I want to go 1-2 line, because that's usually where a lot of the fighting happens, but I end up having to go to the cap circle because I'm just worried that the enemy might go to try and cap out straight away. And that's a reasonable thing to assume, because even though this video's from a week or so back, just recently I had a game where the enemies capped so quickly at the start of the game that the highest XP on both teams was 500. And to put it into perspective, most games that I lose, I get more than 500 XP on. So the fact that the enemy team won and only got 500 XP for their top player is ridiculous, as in like shit. I don't know why you'd want to go for that. I would rather lose and get more XP than win and get a shit amount of XP. At the same time, I don't know, it might have been having to do something like a merc contract that required wins or something, in which case, fair play. But most of the time, I just sit there and think, like, if you need XP for grinding, surely you should try and play for XP. But either way, I'm going to the cap circle. This is a tier 7 game, by the way, with no artillery, which is amazing. However, they do have a T-29, which is a terrifying prospect to fight against, even your tier 9 tanks, if they're positioned properly. So fighting against a top tier 1, always scary. So I'm kind of hoping he dies at the other side of the map, or that he's just hoping overall that he's at the other side of the map. So with Darth Bevo and his Ziska, there's currently 4 of us over here. Our light tank top tier is over here as well, which is quite nice to have a bit of view range over here, because they have a couple snake bites on this map. Now I'm not worried about them killing me, because the snake bite gun is shite, but they're obviously the fastest vehicle in the game and just very annoying to deal with. So you see, I don't want to go all the way up in case I get shot at, so I'm trying to stay relatively safe. As you just saw, Darth just got hit. You're going to see I'm going to have a try and have a look to see if I can see whatever enemy was over there. And I can actually move to this rock and use this as cover, because as I said, no artillery means there's a lot more positions on this map that I can actually use. And right now I'm just kind of waiting, because we have a top tier light tank here, so if anyone's going to go spot, I'd rather it be him than me. So he's waiting right next to me. Our team's getting absolutely wrecked on the other side of the map. So this is one of those games where I could have gone to the 1-2 line and I would not have had to worry about getting capped out. Thankfully those few shots there actually went straight where I aimed them, which is always nice. And now's the moment I decide I need to push forward and see what enemies are over here, because we're getting wrecked on the other side. I've got to push and try and clear up some of the enemies. So I'm going to take it slow, because I don't actually know what tanks are over there yet. VK not going to be an issue. Basically the entire thing of what I'm doing here is just, I need to know where T-29 is. So the fact that I know the one heavy over here is a VK, it's really useful. I'm not going to bother with capping. One of the snake bites is still alive on 34 hit points, and there's a Fury over here as well. So quite a slow game to begin with, but eventually you're going to see me move and actually try and do something. And I think now's the time I decide to push him. It's just trying to find the right position. The Absolution's a very powerful tier 6 tank. It's got trolley armor with the space, it's got good penetration, especially on the premium round, and a good rate of fire. Not the most gun depression, but not bad. So I was just trying to find a position where I could shoot. Got the VK in front of me. One thing I will say is tier 6 ranked battles is coming up. and I have a feeling you're probably going to see a lot of Absolutions in Tier 6 ranked, so just prepare yourselves for it. It'll probably be a good idea to make yourself aware of the weak points on it. So you see we're quite a few tanks down. Again, they're behind sand dunes. The Fury has good gun depression. It's going to be an issue. But I now have to push while our team's still holding them over there. Because now I'm confident the T-29 isn't over here. So I need to kind of deal with these guys before the T-29 gets over. I don't want to expose the lower plate that doesn't have any spaced armor on, so I'm going to back up. And I can deal with the VK. Have a quick look at the hit points of the Fury, and then decide I'm going to finish off the VK. And I'm just trading with the Fury right now, which is fine because the Absolution has a lot of hit points. Now again, here's the advantage here, because I'm on the low ground and he's got the more gun depression. Good news is though, my teammates do have shots over here if the enemies move forward slightly. Not sure I need to be wary of, he's got a very powerful gun, but as you can see my teammates do have shots and I'm getting a little bit of assistance. Skoda's over here as well, but he's a tier 5, so I'm not worried about him in the slightest. I should be able to make my spaced armor work well against him, if need be. So we're going to focus TD because he's my biggest threat. And now I'm going to go for the Fury. And if you see in the minimap, the light tanks come over to help. So I start pushing up all the way now, since the light tank's going in. I missed the shot, which unfortunately means our light tank dies. But I did pick up the Fury, and now I'm just going to over-angle for the Skoda, so that he hits the upper part of my hull and the side of my tank, which is where all the spaced armor is. SU-85 finishes him off. And now it's me and a tier 5 tank destroyer and a tier 6 light tank via T-29 ARL and a tier 6 light tank and a tier 5 heavy of some description. But really it's the ARL and the T-29 to be worried of. Now the good thing about T-29 is, it's very powerful to hold down, but it's got weak sidearm, meaning even the SU-85 and the light tank will be able to pan him, which is good to know. The problem is, I don't know how many hit points these people have. All I could do is hope that the T-29 isn't on full hit points. You see, I'm going to change to premium now because this is going to be quite close and I feel like it's going to fall on me to win this game. Arrow gets spotted, he could have a 300 alpha gun, so I'm a little bit scared. But at the same time, these premium rounds, as I stated earlier, are amazing. So I should be able to deal with them. Now of course, French tanks, quite trolly. Their tracks are very large and can absorb a lot of shells. I do manage to bounce his shot and he is using the 300 alpha gun. SU-85 picks up the kill. The light tanks are one shot, which is good to know. So yellow back to standard real quick. But the SU-85 takes care of him. And now it's just two heavies left. And the reason I'm here is, if our team got in the cap circle, I don't want to sit in there with them, because then the T-29 could come over and be hauled down on us. So the whole reason I've been sitting on this hill is so I'd be able to spot when they were coming. Get two shots into the VK, leave him one shot. And then I keep getting targeted, and I'm scared because I don't know where the T-29 is. T-29's been spotted, and he's on a lot of hit points, which is a bit of a shame. I load the premium straight away. I'm going to come up, and I'm going to finish off the tier 5 to get rid of a gun. And now with the light tank and the TD right behind me, I'm going for it, because I can survive a shot. Now, look at that ARL corpse. He breaks my engine, I repair it, I get round him, and I'm going to use the ARL as cover. The SU-85 can easily pen the side of a T-29. Unfortunately, the SU-85 is going to keep shooting him in the turret, which is not going to work. Now you're going to see me using this dead ARL as cover. backwards and forwards trying to avoid his gun, and now I can reach into a side scrape position. Thankfully, even though my team weren't too useful in killing the T-29, because the Su-85 was sat in the open, T-29 kills him, and that means I now know I can kill the T-29 before he reloads. So it's quite close that, because the light tanker, the Su-85, should have just been able to kill the T-29, but thankfully they didn't need to. And we managed to pull a win from this. So for most of the game kind of useless, because I went the side of the map where none of the enemies were, but I had to make sure that they didn't go for the insta-cap. It's something you do. You've all had those games where you get insta-capped, and it's quite sad. But, irrelevant to that, I had a good game anyway. 42,000 profit, just under 2,800 damage for a high caliber, 900 assistance, 1,300 block for the steel wall, and 5 kills for the ace tanker. And I think it's about just over 1,950 base XP. So thank you guys for watching, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you all in the next one.